Good people. You know who it is, man, and you know what we are here to do. We are here to continue the lecture of the Willie Lynch letter, the social engineering. Like I said in the first take, the melanated people of America have been the longest running socially engineered people on this continent. And the melanated person, for that matter, in the globe has been the longest running social experiment. We are still being experimented on to this very day. Our job is to understand where it started and then where we are at in this social engineering as of right now. You dig what I'm saying? We started with the introduction of the Willie Lynch letter, and if you didn't see that, I'm not gonna go back into it. Go back and watch the video, the introduction. Right here, this will be chapter one. We're gonna go through chapter one like I always do. I'm gonna stop it and go through it, tell you exactly what they are saying, and where we fit and where we stand with that right now to this day. These things happen in 1712. You understand what I'm saying? In 1712, and it affects us up to this very present day. We are slowly breaking out of the cycle, but some are slowly being put right back to sleep. So we're gonna get into this, man. And like I say, this is Melanation Motivation. I encourage you to think at all times and go be God, be the best you can be. You dig what I'm saying? And that is God, the higher self. And the only way to be there is to know where you come from and why they try to destroy you at every turn. You dig what I'm saying? Uh, so we're gonna jump into this, man. But if you get offended real easy by the word nigger and this and that, then turn off the rap music also. If you're gonna turn this off because of what's being said, turn off your rap music, turn off your TV, because they disrespect us constantly. This right here is a tool we need to use to liberate, elevate, and motivate this melanation, man. We are God's people, and we don't know it because of the traumas that was put on us in the 1700s, 1600s to be exact. You dig what I'm saying? But in the 1700s, this man, Willie Lynch, came up with a plan. And he came out of his bag and he put a plan together to make us slaves, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And we are slowly breaking out. But like I say, man, let's get into it. This is chapter one, Willie Lynch letter.
Let's Make a Slave is a study of the scientific process of man breaking and slave making. It describes the rationale and results of the Anglo-Saxons' ideas and methods of ensuring the master-slave relationship. The origin and development of a social being called the Negro.
Stop right there. It said the development and the origin of a social being called the Negro. And we fill out paperwork all the time. We say we Negroes. Uh, 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 every time we talk about it, I ain't a nigga. I'm a Negro. We Negroes, man. The word Negro and the Negro is a construct of the American system. Once they broke us, when they took the Aboriginal man and broke him to believe that he was less than himself and he was not free. Freedom is nothing you can give and take away from somebody. Freedom is a state of mind. We lost our state of mind and became slaves. And then by becoming slaves, we also became the construct of the Negro. So there is no such thing as a Negro, ladies and gentlemen. It is a construct and a figment of your imagination. It's time to break free. Let's get back at it.
Let's make a slave. What do we need? First of all, we need a black nigger man, a pregnant nigger woman, and her baby nigger boy. Second, we will use the same basic principle that we use in breaking a horse,
Lord.
combined with some more sustaining factors. What we do with horses is that we break them from one form of life to another. That is, we reduce them from their natural state in nature. Whereas nature provides them with the natural capacity to take care of their offspring, we break that natural string of independence from them and thereby create a dependency status
Stop
so
right
that
there.
we may be.
Stop right there. They comparing breaking the aboriginal man and woman to breaking a horse. And you heard what he said, how we break the horse is we take away their natural ability to fend for themselves. So they become dependent on us. This is what they do to a wild animal, a horse. They break it to where it only can depend on them. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. You know, we are not self sufficient anymore. We used to be. We used to be. But now we depend on so called government to tell us what to do, when to do, how to act, where to go, when to panic, when to be afraid, when to be happy, when to celebrate a holiday, when to do anything. We rely on government. Them. You dig what I'm saying? Uh in this day and time, it seems like everybody is a slave mentally and don't even know it. They believe they're free because of the construct of division. He thinks he's white, she thinks she's Mexican, he thinks he's Chinese, and they have different divisions. Yes, at the end of the day, the lowest man on the totem pole is the black man and woman. We are the lowest on the totem pole. But one thing about being the lowest on the totem pole, you holding everybody else up. All we gotta do is let them go. All we gotta do is let them go. And everything, this whole game will fall and topple. You dig what I'm saying? This whole little totem pole of white is the best, then the next, then the next, then the next, and down on the bottom is the black man and the black woman. You dig what I'm saying? We can let everybody go. That's the advantage of being at the bottom of the totem pole. Once you let everybody go, they fall and you stand. Then you are the last one standing. You dig what I'm saying? Let's get back into it.
From them, useful production for our business and pleasure. Cardinal principles for making a Negro.
Stop
For fear
right
that
there.
our future generation.
Listen, man, he said cardinal principles for making a Negro. See, like I just told you, the Negro is a construct that was made. We are not Negroes, man. What are we? That's what we have to dig in these books. That's what we have to dig in the past and find out. I'll tell you what we are. We are gods and goddesses. You understand what I'm saying? We are the children of the Most High. We are the sons and daughters of the Most High. You dig what I'm saying? Our Father who art in heaven is our Father. We are sons and daughters of the Most High. And this is what they took away from us. The ability to believe that the divine grace of God is within you. You are a part of the divine grace and the divine nature. This is what was taken away from us by breaking us. Now, like a horse, let's get back into it.
May not understand the principles of breaking both of the beasts together, the nigger and the horse. We understand that short-range planning economics results in periodic economic chaos, so that to avoid turmoil in the economy, it requires us to have breadth and depth in long-range comprehensive planning, articulating both skill-sharp perceptions. We lay down the following principles for long-range comprehensive economic planning. 1. Both horse and niggers is no good to the economy in the wild or natural state.
Stop
2.
right there. Both horses and the black man and woman are no good in their natural state. How is that not one of the most devilish things to even say? That a natural thing of God, God's creation, is no good the way God made it, the way God intended it to be: free, self-sufficient. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta get into the psyche of the people back then who did this. You dig what I'm saying? The rest of the people on this planet who are ancestors of these people are benefiting from that was done. We ain't gonna say they did it, but we're gonna say they are benefiting from the construct of making a man work for servitude. So let's get back at it.
Both must be broken and tied together for orderly production. 3. For orderly future, special and particular attention must be paid to the female and the youngest offspring. 4. Both must be crossbred to produce a variety and a division of labor. 5. Both must be taught to respond to you in a peculiar new language. 6. Psychological and physical instruction of containment must be created for both. We hold the 6 cardinal principles as truth to be self-evident, based upon the following discourse concerning the and the nigger together, all inclusive of the 6 principles laid down about. Accordingly, both a wild horse and a wild or natural nigger are dangerous, even if captured, for they will have the tendency to seek their customary freedom, and in doing so might kill you in your sleep.
Let's stop right there.
You cannot rest.
So, you heard the 6 principles. The one that stood out the most to me was in a natural state. The natural state, the wild horse, and the natural free black man is dangerous. Dangerous. You see how they promote that danger, danger, danger. And see, we got to take it back to how we were captured. How did we get captured? You see what I'm saying? What make us so dangerous? So, what he's leaving out right now, man, that we haven't heard anything about was the gun. The devil's pitchfork. Every time you see the devil sitting on the shoulder, he got that pitchfork with him. That's his weapon. The angel always has a halo. That's their weapon. But the pitchfork, the gun, that's how they got us. If it wasn't for the invention of the rifle, the handgun, the cannon, we would have never, ever been in this situation. But because the art of war changed, we had to comply. You dig what I'm saying? They didn't just, if we so dangerous, how did they capture us? Because they had rifles pointed at us. You dig what I'm saying? The art of war changed and it allowed us to be captured. The most dangerous, is what they're saying, person on the planet, we have them captured. How? Because we pull guns on them. We pull guns on them. You dig what I'm saying? And they leaving that attention to detail out. They leaving that one out. They're not saying that in this letter, so I'm going to say it. But, like I say, man, we'll hop back into it. That's how we got captured, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we got took down by the pitchfork, the gun.
They sleep while you are awake and are awake while you are asleep. They are dangerous near the family house, and it requires too much labor to watch them away from the house. Above all, you cannot get them to work in this natural state. Hence, both the horse and the nigger must be broken. That is, breaking them from one form of mental life to another. Keep the body and take the mind.
Stop.
In other words,
breaking them from one form of mental life to another. Keep the body, destroy the mind. Look at us. Look at us. We rarely educate self. It's hard to educate your own children these days, man. We be so tied up with work and getting off work and trying to enjoy ourselves that we wait till our kid is 5 and we send them off to public school. And they teach them from there on. From there on, they get taught this in also many words. That's why we fail so much in school, because when we get there, the first thing they tell you is you was a slave. You dig? They automatically start beating you down with this indoctrination of slavery, and you were conquered and defeated, and now you were worked in servitude and for nothing, for free, hung, lynched, all kinds of things. And nobody ever, I can't remember one time going through these classes when I was in school and a teacher or a student just stood up and said, y'all know what? I am so sorry. I have never heard of apology, even in school. No teacher ever said, you know what, y'all, let's stop talking about this right now and apologize for what our ancestors did to their ancestors. Let's apologize right now. You will never hear it. You will never hear it because they have to drive that point into your head and their children's head. They are slavery product and you are master superior. They are slave inferior. You are master superior. Keep it up. Keep your foot on their neck. The same classroom, your little Billy, he is feeling mighty during slavery talk week. And little Jakeem, he is upset, ready to slap the shit out Billy. Or anybody for that matter. Because they're degrading him and putting him down. You dig what I'm saying? That's what goes on, and not once in my life. And if anybody in your life, if you ever had a teacher just stop and apologize in the middle of class by going through these same history lessons, comment. You dig what I'm saying? I would love to know that, because I know in the history of me going to school, I have never heard a teacher or a student stop and say, I am sorry. This is not right. This is wrong. All they did was keep listening to the story. It's a glory story to the white boy and the white girl. It is a story of misery to the black child. That's why we fell out of school. We be so pissed off about what we heard in history class that we go to math class with that same attitude and flunk that class, giving the teacher hell. We go leave math class and go to science class and give that teacher hell too, because of what we learned in first period about the history of the black man and the white man. You dig what I'm saying? In slavery. So y'all remember that, man. That's why it's important to educate your child at home also. Tell them the story of what we were before we were slaves, which was kings, queens, just noble people, honored people, God's people. You dig what I'm saying? Let's get back into it.
Will to resist. Now, the breaking process is the same for both the horse and the nigger, only slightly varying in degrees. But as we said before, there is an art in long-range economic planning. You must keep your eye and thoughts on the female and the offspring of the horse and the nigger. A brief discourse in offspring development will shed light on the key to sound economic principles. Pay little attention to the generation of original breaking, but concentrate on future generations. Therefore, if you break the female mother, she will break the offspring in its early years of development, and when the offspring is old enough to work, she will deliver it up to you, for her normal female protective tendencies will have been lost in the...
Let's stop it right there, man. It said pay very close attention to the female. And that still correlates with what goes on today. They pay so much attention to our women. They are constantly finding ways to please our women and put us in situations that we can't. You dig what I'm saying? It pretty much, like a woman has a child, she pretty much don't need a man no more. She pretty much got it made with what the government is gonna offer her. It's like it's a bidding war. Well, I'll give you a place to stay and food stamps. What can he give you? And you'd be like, well, I love you. Man, don't nobody want love. You know what I'm saying? Few people want what love is. They want that independency. They want that ability to call shots. You know? The ability to lead their own life. And that's cool. I understand. But a woman is not designed to be out front, be on the front line. You dig what I'm saying? Because the front line is where the real battle's at. That's where they're shooting and killing at. We, the man, us, are supposed to be on front line, defending our women, defending our children. But when they threw this discord in there and started to cater to the woman, this is what they're talking about here leads up to right now, to present day. The woman is put out front on the front lines, and she doesn't even know she's out there. She thinks she's independent. INDEN. Yeah. She thinks that's independent. But it's not. You're unprotected. You don't have any cover. Nobody has your back. Excuse me. Nobody has your back right now. You dig what I'm saying? The man that you putting through hell to keep this apartment and this place to this food to eat and the child support, that guy is supposed to be protecting you and them kids. Get the fuck away, boy. Go sit down. Excuse me, man. My dog is going crazy. He can't stand to see me sit down and talk. But back to it. That man who is dealing with this child support, dealing with this and not being able to be in the house with the kids, man, that destroys that guy. And he is not gonna come to your rescue. Now he gonna come grab his kids, but he's not gonna rescue that woman. Him and the woman that he has made a life with are gonna come get the kids, and you gonna be stuck out there by yourself. You see, you gotta understand that this social engineering that we are going through with the woman being put out in the front lines and don't even know it. She has her back turned at the front lines looking at the men saying, nah, 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 we got this, I got that, and I'm getting some of your check. Her back is turned and they got rifles pointed at her. They got rifles pointed at her. They got all kinds of ammo pointed at her because without her, there is no child. Without her, nobody can carry the seed. You dig what I'm saying? But they painted it up so beautifully that she thinks she's at an advantage when she is at a pure disadvantage. She has no backing. No backing. You understand what I'm saying? It's hard to hear, ladies. I understand. It's hard to hear. Because it is some ain't shit ass dudes out there. It is. It is. But are they ain't shit dudes because it was an option for you to do other things other than be by this man's side, stick through it with him? Or could you just get this child, run to the DHR, the alphabet, and get all this free assistance and get out there on the front line with your back turned to the enemy? You see? Fellas, we're going to eventually have to go out there and rescue these girls. If by force, we got to go out there and take them back off the front lines. Because, like the man said, they play close attention to the female. Close attention. And as we get into it, y'all gonna see why. But let's go.
Breaking process. For example, take the case of the wild stud horse, a female horse, and an already infant horse, and compare the breaking process with two captured nigger males in their natural state, a pregnant nigger woman and her infant offspring. Take the stud horse, break him for limited containment. Completely break the female horse until she becomes very gentle, whereas you or anybody can ride her in her comfort.
Let's stop right
Breed the mare and the stud.
He said break the female horse till she becomes very gentle, where anybody can ride her. Anybody can ride her. Look at our women. And this ain't just about y'all, ladies, but look at a lot of y'all. Look at a lot of y'all. Y'all look around. Anybody can ride you. Anybody can ride you. You just gotta have the right kind of car, the right kind of dress, the right kind of talk. Catch you on a day when you upset with your old man, and they can get a ride. We have to have some kind of standard to that, man. Everybody ain't supposed to be able to have a black woman. Just like everybody ain't supposed to be able to have a white woman. You dig? Or Chinese, or Japanese, or Mexican, or Puerto Rican. It's one thing about it, man. Like, all these other nationalities are real strict about, hey, don't date outside what we are. You dig? Except for the black man and black woman. We just go anywhere and everything. And it's cool. It's okay. It's 2022. But where are the fight to keep what's pure, pure? Where's that fight at, man? And like I say, this might sound crazy to y'all, but we have to find some kind of line to draw with all that kind of shit. Everybody ain't supposed to be able to ride our women. But let's get back at it.
You have the desired offspring. Then you can turn the stud to freedom until you need him again. Train the female horse where she will eat out of your hand, and she will in turn train the infant horse to eat out of your hand also.
Train the female to eat out your hand. That's what DHR, Section 8, food stamp, all that is our women eating out of their hand. And guess what happens? The little black girl that grows up in that situation, guess what she ends up doing? Being on Section 8, food stamps, and all this other stuff, and eating out of their hand also, just like they did with the horse. They did us just like animals. Let's get back to it, man.
When it comes to breaking the uncivilized nigger, use the same process, but vary the degree and step up the pressure, so as to do a complete reversal of the mind. Take the meanest...
Oh my God. It said to do this to a black man versus a horse, you do the same thing you do to a horse, but you step up the pressure. You step up the pressure when you do it, when you apply it to the black man. A horse is 1,000 pounds, 2,000 pounds. They big, a ton. The average black man is what? 220, 230. See, it ain't the size of the fight, the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. They had to step it up when they came to us. They had to step up the same tactics they used to break a wild animal. They had to step it up to come break us because we wasn't having that shit. We was not having it. We fought tooth and nail, ready to kill you at every turn for this bullshit. But let's see how they did it. Let's see. Now, like I say, they also had the gun pointed at your motherfucking head the whole time. They had the gun pointed at you the whole time. A lot of us died. Point blank, died. Gunshot wounds.
Most reckless nigger, strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male niggers, the female and the nigger infant. Tar and feather him. Tie each leg to a different horse faced in the opposite direction. Set him on fire and beat both horses to pull him apart in front of the remaining nigger.
So they said what you do if you want to break the civilized black man, you want to break him. You take a horse and tie one horse to each leg. All right. Hot tar, and feather this man while he is tied to these horses. And you know, we always had the notion that we were God. And we supposed to fight for our life. You dig what I'm saying? We're supposed to fight for our life. So tying some horses to me, I'm not going to let those horses pull me or hurt me. So I'm fighting them horses, right? So what they do, they put the hot tar on your body. Ooh, and that's hot. That burns, right? The hot tar burns. But to make it run slow, they put feathers on it to make it run real, real slow down your body. And then if it dries, if you pull the feathers out, you also pull skin out. And while you're going through this agony, you the toughest one in the tribe. This agony, this pain, they slap the horses in different directions and rip you in half in front of everybody. In front of everybody. The baddest man, they did this to him in front of everybody. Y'all hold on.
Next step is to take a bullwhip and beat the remaining nigger male to the point of death in front of the female and the infant. Don't kill him.
The next step, after you done tore this man apart, the baddest man, you have tore him apart in front of his wife, his friends, his family, everybody. You have tarred him, feathered him, and ripped him apart with two horses, going different directions. That's why you should look at the back of the Levi jeans. I used to love Levi's, man. But then I seen that symbol on the back of the pocket, and I couldn't even wear them no more, man. That was sad. It's exactly what they are doing on the back of that patch of the Levi's. Look it up. They tarred and feathered him and tore him apart. The baddest man. You, brother, you. And then everybody who was watching, all the other brothers who wasn't as bad as you, they respected you. They beat them half damn near to death with a whip. Beat them damn near to death with a whip. Let's get back into it.
Put the fear of God in him, for he can be useful for future breeding. The breaking process of the African woman.
And we're going to stop it right there, man, because the breaking process of the African woman is for tomorrows. Man, I thank y'all for tuning in, man. Like I say, that's a little graphic right there, but it's the truth. It's what happened. It's what happened, and it still happens to this day. They're not tarring and feathering, but they killing us on sight, unarmed, on sight. We killing each other on sight. When it's time to not get rid of your weapons, but stop pointing your weapons at each other, that's what time it is. You can never beat them at that game of war because they made that game. But we made the game of spirituality. We made the game of what God does. We made the game of knowledge. And we have to get back to that. We have to get back to that, man. Like I tell y'all at all times, man, this is Melanation Motivation. This is the hard side of Melanation Motivation. Social engineering. We have been the longest running socially engineered project in the Americas. They tried to wash us out of history by saying that all we are was uncivilized savages and slaves. But before we ever met them, we had this continent, this globe, running freely, happily, in harmony, no chaos. And then chaos showed up. Hey, man, y'all go be God. You know who it is, man. Your brother, Yazan King Ra, Jason L. Council, Duck Hang, Malcolm Luther, man, advising you to dream by any means, man. This is Melanation Motivation. That was chapter 1 and 2 of the Willie Lynch letter, man. Y'all take it easy.